Get that recording. Mhm. Live on there. Do, 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 do. All right, so that should be starting live. All right, cool. Brian, we are live. We are recording. Should be on our Facebook page. So if anyone's tuning in to see this, awesome. Mate, so I'm here this morning with Brian Pham from Litecard. So guys, if you are watching this on the Facebook Live, there should be a link to the Zoom. You can jump in here if you want, because we have got something quite cool this morning that when I had a conversation with Brian, oh, 2, 3 months ago, mate, I think it was a while back. Um, and I'm not always the fastest, mate. So if you remember, it took me a few minutes to kind of cotton on to what you were actually doing and how it was different. When I did, I was like, that is actually really cool. So we're going to be looking at a way to maximize CRM integrations with SMS and the mobile wallet marketing. And the way that Lightcard do it is something I haven't seen before. Pretty cool way of doing things. So, Brian, just introduce you to everybody first of all. So, Brian, you're the founder of Lightcard. I think you want the
Yep, yep,
yep,
that's right. I'm the founder of Litecard.
founder of Lightcard. You are based down in Melbourne, in
That's
Australia
correct.
as well. I think you're currently in
Yep.
Sydney, though, aren't you? I believe.
Yes, yes, I'm just traveling for work.
Right. So, if you want to give us, I think you have a little bit of a presentation to do as well. But if you
Yep.
want to give us a little introduction of yourself and Lightcard, and how it works, and then we can run through a few scenarios. I know you're going to talk about some of the case studies and clients and how they're using it, because this is a very neat way of sort of linking SMS into mobile wallets in a very simple way.
Awesome. Thanks, Gary. Good morning, everyone, and appreciate you all having me. So I'm Brian, as Gary said. I am the founder of a business called Litecard. We're based out of Melbourne, Australia. And what we are is a wallet-led marketing platform. So what that means is that everyone these days is used to using Apple and Google Wallet for things like boarding passes and bank cards. And what we realized is that this was an amazing way to connect closer with a customer from a media or engagement perspective. So if you think about other channels like SMS and email, imagine you had an SMS for a gym or like a retailer that you loved or a brand that you really loved, and it said, "Hey Gary, thanks for always shopping at L'Oreal for your wife. Thanks for being a great customer. Press here," and then it's an extra 15% off. Which you can use in the next sort of like 2 or 3 months, and that's stored straight into your mobile wallet. So there's nothing in between that. And you can set that up on our platform in about 2 or 3 minutes and connect that via API in about 2 or 3 minutes as well. So you can customize all the APIs on our platform by yourself. So yeah, that's a really like high level of our platform. And Gary, I'll leave it over to you for some questions.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And when you first told me about this, it's like, oh yeah, we're linking into a wallet and so forth. But it's that simplicity of it's just like sending an SMS, but the SMS, when they click that, that's what then pushes it straight into their wallets. They've got the coupon, they've got it there. It's not like they have to save the text, they have to use push notifications into another app, any of that kind of stuff. Because that's what I envisaged when I first looked at this, and then we first started talking. I thought, oh, you've got to download like another app, right? You've got
Mhm.
to persuade someone to download another app, and they've got to store coupons in there, and then you've got to get your clients on board, push their thing into their app, blah 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 blah. Which does work. There's plenty of people doing that, but
Yep.
this is just like, yeah, we'll send them an SMS and we'll use their native wallet on their actual device ready, so their coupon will be sitting there ready for them to go, which is super
Yep.
cool. So like I guess that's how Lightcard enhances really the effectiveness of SMS. What about integrating that into a CRM platform? So you mentioned you can integrate it really quickly. Like how do you set that up through your APIs? Do you want to do a demo for us, or have you got a bit of a run through that you can show us?
Yeah, I've got a few slides I'd love to share with the
Yeah,
group,
awesome,
actually.
awesome, mate.
All right, cool. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, just loading up, mate. There we go.
All right, beautiful. So how our platform works is we usually bolt on top of a SMS or email marketing tool, so just like a CRM, CDP, CPaaS, like communications platform as a service. So any of these sort of platforms we would bolt on top, and we would typically work with agencies and integrators to help with an integration for an end customer. I'll show you a bit more in a few slides. But I've actually prepared a demo, Gary. So if you've got your phone with you, scan this QR code with me and I'll show you what the user experience looks like.
I do. All right, hang on. Come on. It's not, my phone is not picking up the QR code. Here we go. There it is. All right.
You know, Android or Apple phone? Okay.
This is an iPhone I've got here. All right. Bit of L'Oreal
There you go.
skincare. Just gone straight
So,
onto my phone.
so from that link, this can be a unique link pushed into any SMS as well. And I think what's really interesting about this is, so we do this with brands with like North Face, for example, Dan Murphy's. You can get this via an email. You can get this also via a Google ad or a YouTube or Facebook ad, or any of what we call like a controlled media channel, which you see on the screen.
Mhm.
And there's literally nothing in between that. So you'll click an SMS and it'll go straight into your Apple or Google Wallet. There's no app download, like you said, and you can do things like send push notifications after as well by location or by some sort of personalization event, such as we know it's Gary's birthday within the CRM. We're going to give him a 10% off and deliver that through the mobile wallet as well as an SMS. So how we look at this is there are so many different ways to touch the customer now, and SMS and email are a way that we believe can be modified to yield better results. So if you see on the right hand side, if you click on that advertisement, it stores an offer straight into your mobile wallet. And that offer can be like a QR code, a barcode, like a tap value, as long
Mhm.
as it's accepted sort of online or offline. And you can do things like send push notifications. And it doesn't have to be an offer, it can also be a membership card. And I think, especially with brands doing SMS reach out, I think a big challenge also is like, how do I know when Gary's looked at an SMS and then when he's purchased, after, and how do I attribute that sort of spend? And so using the mobile wallet, you can see when Gary's downloaded the pass and then when he's gone to spend. And for a brand like L'Oreal or Mars, it's actually really important for them because they need to understand how effective their media strategy has been.
Okay. And
Um,
you mentioned push notifications. Where are the push notifications going? Is that straight onto the phone, through the wallet? How is that working?
yeah, so that's actually through the wallet. So you can push a notification through the card that's just been stored or the offer that's just been stored inside your wallet from L'Oreal, and it'll pop up through your lock screen. It'll pop up, as a banner on top while you're using the phone. So we call that a guaranteed last mile impression. So there's no like, I walk past a billboard and I maybe see it. It's like, no, you're using your phone. It's coming straight in front of you.
And can you set that up in like an automated fashion? So let's say, for example, if I'm sending out a database reactivation campaign and I send it out on Monday and this offer lasts till Friday, for example, right? So here you go, I've sent you that. You got the SMS, you've clicked it, it's in my wallet, I've got it sitting there. Can I automate and send, or when I set up the campaign with Litecard, I want to say, hey, remind them on Wednesday, you've only got 48 hours left, and then remind them Friday morning, offer ends today. Can I do that?
Yeah, so you can set that up on our platform end to end with no code. Um, yep. So it's possible. And you can do that across like a variety of different discount codes, which
Yeah,
are sent inside your SMS. So you can have like the same discount code, if that makes sense.
that's
So you
awesome.
can set like a number of personalization rules. And these personalization rules can be send a push notification to Gary 7 days after he's downloaded the pass, or 7 days before the pass expires, or the offer expires, or both. So there's a
Okay.
number of things you can do. Yep.
And privacy rules, all those kind of things, how does that factor into this? Because a lot of people now, I'm talking to a lot of people about, we're in Australia, we've got a lot of clients in the US, but A2P, which you're probably familiar with it and everything that's going on in the US, how's privacy factor into this, particularly if you are then pushing reminders to people into their wallet?
Yep. So when you download the mobile wallet pass, on the bottom of the pass or in the more information section, you actually have a section that tells you how to disable the push notifications. And that by using and downloading this pass, they agree to be communicated to about important updates and offers, for example. And what we've also found as well is that people that do download the mobile wallet passes are people that are brand loyalists who are already engaged with the media or the offer that the brand's providing, and actually, on the other hand, get angry that they're not reminded when it expires because they've
Mm,
already engaged in that media. So yeah, again, it also does depend on the brand strategy. But we banker bets a lot of the time. Like we do not recommend for brands to send more than one push notification a fortnight, unless it's like a really short campaign, which lasts, as you said, like 7 days. I think SMS, there's a lot of them. Um, but yeah, it's we try to be brand strategy agnostic, geography agnostic, as well as tech stack agnostic. That's why I guess like we work well with agencies or look to work with agencies. Yeah.
Okay. And I want to ask the question is probably people that are watching this later on YouTube or on our Facebook Live. You're talking about big brands here as well, but like you can use this with anything, right? Or any brand, like your local pool shop, your local
Yeah.
plumbers, whatever it might be. This will work for all kinds of businesses, right? It doesn't have to be. We talk about big brands here, L'Oreal and so forth that people have heard of.
Hmm.
This is just as applicable for any local brand as well. So
Yep, definitely. I mean, we've probably like half of our clients are single, three, five, or 10 site sort of retailers, hospitality venues and restaurants as well,
Mhm.
gyms, like single site. We've got a number of them, all the way to sort of enterprise, yeah, listed and sort of retailers.
And which areas do you find that this works best in? Like you mentioned, restaurants, retail, gyms.
Yeah.
Where are the really best cases for this?
So we have two types of clients typically. The one is we call brands, and then the other we call retailers. So
Mhm.
underneath the brand sectors, we have sort of CPG brands, so consumer packaged goods. You might be like local beauty shops that have multiple like SKUs under their range. We've got food, fast moving consumer goods underneath brands, so something like Mars, confectionery, alcohol. Then on the other side, we've got retail. So retail, we break into about five or six subsectors. That's restaurants and hospitality, fashion, pharmacy, grocery, DIY and hardware, and then furniture and electrical. So yeah, it's quite a number of sort of applications, but I think the common theme is most of them spend a lot on email and SMS, right? And it's not going away. That's not going to change for the next 5, 10, 20 years.
No, and the great thing about this, because the great thing about this is you can actually tell when people have redeemed, right? So I know from doing DBRs like database reactivations through SMS, sometimes it's a real challenge to know whether those people have actually redeemed or not, right? They send them a text, here's the offer, come into the store and get 50% off whatever our offer is or such and such, right? But then
Mm.
you're relying on someone at the counter or somewhere to say, oh yeah, when they came in, they're they mark it down somewhere on how many people came in or whatever it might be. There's kind of some kind of manual interaction that can often have to take place, unless it's an e-com transaction, right? You're doing it through that. But with this, you're always going to know because they can scan the code, they can scan the coupon, and you're always going to know how many of these got taken up, right? So you can really track and measure the effectiveness of campaigns here. Plus the fact that you can remind them and if they didn't take it up, you can remind them, which is a big bonus, I think.
And second purchase after that, which is like a big thing for these brands. It's like after the promotion, how can they retarget someone again,
Yeah.
knowing that they've purchased? Because otherwise, you're left with like Jack Daniels and L'Oreal. They don't know who's purchased, and they don't know how to retarget them. So, providing that as a new avenue to access customers and build data around people's profiles is gold to sort of like the larger CPG groups and even the smaller ones who are trying to build their strategy out. So I totally agree with you, Gary. Another thing as well that we find is that I think brands these days are trying to look for something innovative and they're trying to cut through like a lot of the noise. And how it works on our platform, like it's quite simple, right? If you've got a point of sale or e-commerce platform, you can just make a discount code, or you can make a list of discount codes, and you can ingest that straight into our platform.
Mm.
And then you customize your branding and push notifications like end to end within a few minutes, and that spits out a link, and you can just put that link into an SMS campaign. So that's how easy it is.
So have you got any specific examples of how some of the brands have used like Carb and what the
Ye-
ROIs are that they've done through mobile wallet campaigns?
Yeah, that's been about two or three slides.
Oh, that's right. Look,
Yeah, I made this deck for you, Gary.
perfect. What's the two or three slides you got before there then? Okay.
Sure. So, what we found is that we work really well with partners. So we've got two types of partners, like a technology partner as well as an agency partner. So agency partners are more sort of service integrators, marketing and media agencies. And then on the technology partner side, we've got, people like yourself at My CRM Sim, who have technology platforms such as e-commerce, point of sale, CRM, CDP, and so on and so forth. Like a lot of loyalty platforms we work with. And we found that our model is quite similar to the likes of Klaviyo and Yotpo and even Shopify, where we work with agencies who refer brands to us. The brands also use these agencies to integrate Litecard. So what we find is like, especially the marketing SI agencies or the digital ones who do one integration and then sell it like 100 times or 1,000 times because it delivers value for their customers. And the agencies can also operate our platform to create those sort of end-to-end processes and flows within, your mobile wallet campaign, essentially. This is an example of a partner we've worked with in the last few months. So Sporting Club of Sydney is SCG, so it's all the 7 stadiums in Sydney are operated by Venues New South Wales, which is a government contract. Western Sydney University, Maryvale, which is the largest hospitality group in Australia, Dalton House, which will be about the third, so they operate the Sydney Opera House. So they've got about 65 restaurants, Maryvale that are over 150. And then in the last 2 weeks, we also won Auckland duty free with Shakewell Agency. We met Shakewell on December 3rd, so it moved pretty fast in about 2 or 3 months. Or most of the customers already signed on. Most of them already paid, so all of them signed on. And yeah, it was simple. They were like, we don't have to build it ourselves. We can take up agency time on retainer that we've got with customers. And everyone's sort of been thinking about the mobile wallet, but don't really understand that you can do things like send notifications and customize the experience and see where it goes from there. So speaking of numbers, what we found is that AMX Motorsports is a really interesting one. So AMX Motorsports do a SMS campaign every 1 to 2 months, and they hit only about, I'd say about 25, maybe 20% of their total active CRM. So only to the VIP members, they'll provide like a VIP offer. And they tried us using, rather than just normal SMS on Salesforce, they plugged in our link. And then that provided a 36 times ROI on their SMS spend compared to a typical 10 to 15x. And they loved it. They loved it so much they introduced us to the rest of their brand groups that they stock to do SMSs for their brands, as well as the other retailers that they own because they're part of the group. Find similar things for the North Face, which is more like in fashion. So it really does depend on what media channel we activated on. So North Face is on YouTube and Google Ads, or is on YouTube and Google Ads. And then we also serve things like breweries as well. So like single sites, hospitality venues, or sort of like recreational centers, anything. So quite agnostic, I guess, as like SMS is usually. But yeah, I think it's something that we're going to see go pretty mainstream in the next sort of 6 to 12 months, or people start to explore it at least. But yeah, like you said, Gary, it's about educating, I guess, partners and clients and brand customers or like brands enough that they don't spam and saturate this channel as well, right?
Yeah. So YouTube and Google Ads, how would that have worked though? Would that be in the QR code example that we had at the beginning there, or
Let me show
asking people
you.
to send an SMS to receive a code, or just trying to understand all the different ways you can use it through different channels, I guess.
Yeah, I've actually got a video. Here you go. I'm going to share a different screen. Yeah. Can you see this next screen okay?
Yep. So we've got North Face Melbourne.
Yeah. So, so this is a Google Maps ad. I just did a preview. So when you click on the actual ad, it adds the mobile wallet pass into your phone. And then you can view it inside your actual mobile wallet. And then you can view things like see all your terms and conditions, as well as your terms of use, any sort of notification history. So if you've got anything like, let's say, we know Gary's shopped at the North Face and he's earned 10 extra points, or he shopped at his pharmacy or grocery 10 extra points, or a coupon, for example, you can view those sort of like updates on your mobile pass rather than needing to use an app.
And that was a
Yeah,
click directly on the link in the ad.
yep, that's right.
So,
And
so
then the
instead
North
of
Face.
going to the website, where you put in your URL or whatever that domain might be, you're just putting in the link for Litecard basically, and they'll push it straight into
Yep.
their wallet.
The exact same as an SMS or an email campaign. Yeah, so Dan Murphy's will do this via an email campaign. So will Bonds and Sheridan, and like the likes of like L'Oreal, Amex will go into an SMS campaign. So it really just depends on what the brand's trying to achieve, right?
Yep.
So if SMS or email is working really well for them, they might not touch that, and they might go, maybe I'll just try and use this on my social media ads or my printed media. So we work with like U Foods.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they, yeah. So we'll work with like the YouFoods counterpart of Europe, and they'll go, you know what, Brian, I want to put a unique 1.3 million unique QR codes inside my boxes, so I can provide them a coupon, and then I can retarget them, the next and the next time as well, and sort of evolve those benefits. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to use the mobile wallet.
Okay. Very cool. Um, So what challenges have you got that integration be aware when you're kind of setting this up with Litecard, you've got to set up with your CRM, how do you manage all that? Because the thing with this, right? Well, I saw when I finally tweaked on how you were doing this, I was like, oh my God, that's so simple, right? What you do is so simple. But the stuff that's going on in the back end there, I can imagine is yeah, quite tech
Yeah.
heavy. How do you how do you manage to make something so smooth and simple on the front end and manage all those integrations and everything on the back end?
God, it was
And
like on the verge of becoming on the verge of becoming offensive, and then became really complimentary. So thanks, Gary.
no, because I understand it. Because what we do, like, everyone looks at it, and what we've done is made it really simple to send SMS by connecting to high level, right? And everyone loves how we've done it because we've made our connection and integration really simple, and that's what they say. But underneath that, there's an unbelievable amount of complexity with servers and integrations and API keys and all kinds of stuff going on in the back end that nobody even sees, right? So making making something simple is always very complicated.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. And I understand that. I mean, a high level is our CRM as well, that we use to track our customers and leads and everything.
yeah,
So you asked how it works with agencies and what the challenges are to integrating. So that's actually the next two slides. That's why I brought up the brought up the slide deck again.
it links
Um,
so well.
it's like we rehearsed this, Gary.
Yeah, we didn't. We haven't spoken for like 2 months.
So I just wanted to walk through how agencies onboard customers. So typically, when we see agencies work with brands um, who use SMS and email as a way to engage the customers or want to invest into that, controlled media channel, we find that there's typically like a business case to trial a mobile wallet experience, let's call it. And so the steps to do this are that first we identify the need for mobile wallets with the agency partner, and then the agency partner gets their own agency login as well, so they can onboard multiple brands underneath that, and then extract and design the experiences as well as the APIs for each one of their brands and see usage as well as send push notifications by scheduled campaigns or set rules for them. And then once that's done, the link gets implemented to the advertising channel, or maybe like a CRM sign-up logic you might have for Salesforce or a Shopify ecosystem. And then you launch and track the conversion. So what that looks like in an ecosystem is that typically we'll see that brands or retailers will usually have a CDP or a CXP, a CRM, 95% of the time not a mobile app, but if they do, we might need to typically integrate with that. A loyalty platform that's third party, custom, or native within a point of sale or CRM. And then you've obviously got your point of sale and e-commerce. So our platform will typically integrate with one of these. But like, to be honest, Gary, a lot of the times we don't even need to do an integration because a brand like a L'Oreal or like a CPG brand will just buy barcodes from the retailer and then put the barcodes in our platform. That spits out a link, and they just put the link into their SMS. Now that's set up within a few minutes. And if they don't like the artwork, they can just change it on our platform, within their artwork approval meeting. You don't need to involve customer success or anything like that. But when it becomes more complex and you want to achieve more things like attribution, personalization, integration into CRM and point of sale, that's where all the agencies, shine essentially working with us.
Okay. And what about again, anyone who's watching this who's thinking, oh, not L'Oreal, I'm dealing with, I just talk for like a lot of our customers, they typically might do an SMS campaign to maybe 1,000 people, like customers. That's the agency sorry, the client that the agency is dealing with. It might be 1,000, 2,000, and always big numbers, right? Some are doing big numbers as well, but it's definitely a lot of good use cases where we have clients and they will go in and they will, they'll take on a new, sorry, our clients, the agencies will take on a new client. They'll put them into the CRM, their their version of high level, and they'll set up ads and they'll set up their marketing and they'll do their forms or whatever it might be on the website. But also to get a quick win, they'll do a database reactivation. That's one of the first things that they can get running really quickly while they're doing all the other stuff, because the other stuff takes time to see results on. Takes time to create new forms, add those, create workflows, create automations, create follow-ups. All that stuff takes time. But a database reactivation could be done very quickly and set up fast. But it might only be 1,000-2,000 people. So can we still use this if we've got a smaller list and we just want to send out to 1,000 or 2,000 people at a time? How applicable is Litecard going to be for those type of agencies or those type of
Yeah,
customers?
no, definitely. So we've got like self-service. I mean, most of the platform self-service, but we also do have what we call like an SMB plan, which provides the necessary services to smaller 1,000 sort of database customers and 5,000 database customers as well. So stuff like that exists within our ecosystem. Yeah.
Okay. And you've got different plans as well. So I don't know if you're aware of your price, and we don't have any link between us. I just thought this was a really cool thing that we should show to our clients, because DBRs are a really cool thing to do. But you mentioned before you've basically got a bunch of different plans. You've obviously got enterprise customers, but you have plans down to like it's a per use option, I think, or per link, per QR code. How does that work as well?
Yeah. So typically for SMB customers, we'll provide a per contact per month option, and it'll be like within the cents. And then a sort of dashboard subscription fee, which is like $100 a month typically. Yeah, so it's quite, I guess, like low touch. But again, yeah, it's quite flexible.
So it's still very affordable, because I just feel like some people might be watching this going, oh, we're not enterprise, we're not running enterprise clients. This is going to be out of my reach to use this cool service. But it's still very affordable for smaller agencies as well and smaller clients, right?
Yeah, definitely. We try to be technology, I guess, like size agnostic as well.
Yep. Very cool. Very cool. Winner Lee has actually joined us in here. Hey, Winner Lee, if you have any questions or want to put your hand up at any time, sure Brian will be happy to answer.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how are you?
Can, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Uh, yeah, and actually we did join, but then we're gonna switch probably to another account. We were having, and then I just closed that Go High Level, so I can't even get in today for some reason. Like when we put the CRM in there, you put it in the other. There's an option. There's a third tab, right? I remember that you put it in to load it into the account.
Sorry, are you talking about my CRM sim and high level at the moment, or what's not sure what your
Yeah.
question?
Are we talking about something else? I was talking about Litecard. Is that something different?
Yes, it is.
Sorry.
Yes, so we're just doing this about Litecard
Okay.
at the moment. If you have a question
Oh, okay.
about my CRM
Maybe
sim,
you could
happy
tell
to
me a little
help you
bit
with
about.
that later, or we can talk after this if
Okay,
that's okay.
sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, cool.
What exactly is Litecard?
Brian, did you want to give the quick 30-seconder? You already explained it pretty well.
Sure. So we're nice to meet you, Winnie Lee. We're a wallet-led marketing platform. So you can provide like a SMS, and in the SMS you can have a link. When you press the link, it adds like an offer or a voucher or a loyalty card inside your Apple or Google Wallet. So there's nothing in between that. So yeah, we're basically like a plugin on top of Gary's CRM.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a CRM. It's not like a SMS service. It's a add-on that people call it.
No, it's really
That
good
what
for
it
like
is.
database reactivation. If you're going to send out an offer to your user
Uh-huh.
base, you can send them out an offer. If they click the link, it will put the voucher straight into their Google or Apple wallet, basically. And then you can notify them or remind them
Okay.
about that as you go along.
Oh, I see. Okay. I guess that'll be a little bit later when we get our things working properly.
Okay. If you do need help with anything when you leave, then just book a support call if you need, or just shoot us a ticket in to the service desk, and we can definitely help you out with that.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Brian, so just to jump back on track there, mate. So we talked about sending them out. We talked about results. So you guys have got obviously some tracking in the back end, like tools, analytics. How do you track all of this stuff to show what's actually happening, particularly as well for people that haven't taken up the offer as well? I'm really interested to see about that, so that you know who hasn't taken it up, so that you can remind
Yeah.
them and those kind of things.
So typically, what you'll see in our platform is who who who's been sent a mobile wallet pass, who's
Mhm.
downloaded it on what device at what time, and then how many push notifications you might have been sent to them. And then what we'll have is like a manual data feed option of um, or the ability to show who's claimed the mobile wallet pass in the ecosystem with like a manual upload, or that's also available via API for common like point of sale or CRM or e-commerce ecosystems like Shopify, Square, um, any of the other, I guess, like point of sales across Australia, Apparel 21, Retail Express, Lightspeed, those sort of ones.
Okay. And if they haven't downloaded, because you mentioned you can see who's downloaded it, who hasn't, can we automate a way through high level? So if we're sending out a DBR, for example, a typical thing might be like, first SMS, here's the offer. Second SMS is like, well, here's a reminder for the offer anyway, regardless. Um,
Mhm.
can we see, if they've downloaded and then trigger something to take them out of a workflow in high level? So we're not reminding them with another SMS, but we just remind them in the wallet.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. You need to build that flow into high level as like a some sort of logic. But yeah, I guess that's why we want to be talking to high level or GHL agencies, right?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Are we able to have a little look in the back end or anything of just putting a little campaign together? Did you have anything on that we could just share with people?
Yeah, I do actually. Give me a second. I'm going to show you one. It's enterprise, but it's applicable as well to SME. If that makes sense, Gary.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to check if there's any um, sensitive information that I should not be showing here. Okay, cool. So can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
So this is a master admin account for a agency called AeroWorks. They're based out of the Philippines. So AeroWorks are owned by the Prima Group, and Prima Group own over 100 brands. So they're like an agency for this brand group or brand family in the Philippines. So their primary is Shopify, but they also use like a number of CRM ecosystems to send out SMS, personalized emails, and so on and so forth. So what you can do as a agency is you can create your sub business. So if it's like you've got Gary's Gym or something like that, or some sort of recreational center or restaurant, you can just create your own business underneath here. Once you create your own business, you then enter like a business dashboard. And inside the business dashboard, you can see like first name, last name, email, any sort of customizable columns or data. How you customize the data is through your wallet pass. So you can create your own Apple or Google Wallet um, design here. And then once you've got your design, you can see a preview of it on Apple or Google. So there's that disclaimer I was talking about, Gary, on providing push notifications and opting out. You can see Google and Apple. So Travel Club is probably one of AeroWorks and Prima Group's biggest brands. They've got about 55 stores across the Philippines, and it's sort of like a city beach where they distribute multiple brands inside the store as a retailer. Um, and after you've created that pass, you can come in and edit it. You can do things like give it a QR code instead. You can give it no code if you use it online or if you want to tap it somewhere.
Mhm.
You can set expiry as well after activation, never to expire. Um, and then do things like edit the look and feel of the pass, right? Changing things like the logo, the image. Um, and then here you can also set your fields that you see within the CRM member dashboard before.
Yeah.
You can also do something called sign up without a form. So every single time that you create a wallet pass, it actually creates a sign up form. So that's a form that you can use to like collect more data, for example. If you're a brand that's trying to do a data activation, So you want to understand, I've put an ad out, how many people are looking at the ad and claiming an offer, but I want to ask them what's their postcode, for example, or what skin type are they if they're a beauty brand, or do they prefer, 0 calorie beer or full strength beer if they're a beer brand, for example. Then you can do things like override this actual barcode value here, or provide like a list of barcodes or coupon codes that you've created within your retail ecosystem, whether you're a restaurant or a retailer. And then once that's created, it spits out a template ID. So you can use this template ID to create these mobile wallet passes immediately within Go High Level or Salesforce or anything. And all you need to do is log into that dashboard using this email address on the top right-hand side, as well as the password for this dashboard. So once you log into the API environment, you call this template ID, and then it creates mobile wallet passes for you in an SMS, in a CRM flow, in an email, so on and so forth. And it can be a voucher, it can be a membership card, for example. You can show things like what's your member number, how many points you have, and these are all things that can be dictated via like a dynamic API or like a dynamic value within your API call. And yeah, you can also do things like design your sign-up form. So what's on mobile,
So this
desktop.
form, this will sit between, if you click on that SMS, this is where you're saying you want to get more data. If you click on the SMS, will it
Yes.
pop that up? You've got to fill that in, and then it will
Yep.
push the voucher into the wallet. Is that the flow?
Correct. Yep. And then you've got the link here. And also, if you don't want to have a form, you can also just press sign up without a form. And then what that does is, I'll show you. So this is what we call like an instant offer. So instead of like asking for a form, it goes to a landing page and then it serves the mobile wallet pass for you here. So you don't have, so it creates less friction in adopting the mobile wallet as an experience. And once you download that into your Apple or Google Wallet, that brand through that dashboard, you can send push notifications to customers, which go through the lock screen. So you can send push notifications by time, by date. You can send email push notification. We do SMS as well, but we typically tend not to because it's costly. And then you can set your email or push notification title and message, and that goes through a customer's lock screen on Android or iOS devices.
Can I
You can see
set
your
a
notifications.
scheduled? Sorry, can I set a scheduled time for that?
Yeah, of course. So this will be
Oh
on
yeah,
your
sorry, that's what
browser's
you were
time.
doing there. Okay.
Yeah,
So you just need to know if the thing expires on the 30th of the month, you want to do a 48-hour reminder, you're going to set that on the 28th of the month, basically.
correct. And
Yeah.
then you can do things like see your analytics, how many people have signed up, filled out the form, what device they're on, and then also your notification analytics as well. So yeah, that's a really high level of our platform.
Mate, I love it. Like, I really do. When you explained it to me the first time, I was like, why don't more people know about that? Because it's so much more immersive than just sending like a simple text or an offer or anything via email or anything like that. You can get them to go straight into the wallet and keep them and remind them. That's the keys that I like, or the keys to it, I think, make it so simple, and you know, they're going to carry it around. You can remind them about it, and it's always there, basically, which is
Yeah,
just
like why would
awesome.
you download an app anymore? It's like why would you need to open up an email anymore to try and find your discount code when you can just have it inside the same place that you use to buy your coffee or groceries?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
because no need to download another app, because that was my first thought when I was first kind of, someone introduced me to, and I had a quick look, and I was like, oh, so Litecard, okay, cool. It's another app you got to download, which then means you've got to explain to the customer why they need to download it, which is another barrier, basically. But none of those things apply in this situation, which is just brilliant. Like, you've made something so simple, right, to solve that problem for people, which is awesome, mate. Hats off to you.
Thanks, mate. I think it's just how can you create like a powerful customer experience for a brand or a retailer and get them set up in like minutes, and that's like our focus, right? And then how
Yeah,
can we enable agencies to do that with us as well?
awesome.
Yeah.
Any new things on the front with Litecard? Like, is there new features? Or it's simple and it does what it says on the tin as it is. Is there any new cool stuff in the features for 2025?
There's going to be like a lot more self-service stuff. Um, few things that are still in concept. So I don't want, they're pretty half baked. So I don't want to shout them out into the world. But I think
Go on,
we're
give
just
us a
going to
preview,
continue.
mate.
I think we're just going to continue to make it easier, right? I think you see in the last 10 to 20 years, we see such a huge uptake of CDP, personalized emails, personalized SMS. And I think like at the moment, people are going, look, it's working great, but what's next? What's after that? And so now we're looking at mobile wallets and going, well, maybe people want to personalize this mobile wallet experience now because everyone's trained themselves to use it for boarding passes, for bank cards every day. Doesn't matter if you're 16 years old, if you're 70 years old. And we've got so many statistics where we thought people above 60 would never use our platform. And then for like a membership ecosystem that had an average age of like 62, over 90% of the people used it. This is in the thousands, right? Across multiple different sites. So it's interesting. I think now that you see a lot of apps out there as well, I think you've got like only a certain attention span inside your mobile before you have to go back to your family and your job and everything like that. It's like, do I want to give it to all these other apps? Do I want to give it to email? Do I want to give it to like a mobile wallet? And then I think that sort of attention real estate is just going to change and evolve in the next few years. So continue to explore and understand the data behind that has been our work and focus.
Yeah, I fully agree with that with too many apps. Like we built a new house recently. I've got 7 apps for this house, which is ridiculous. I think I have 4 apps for my son's school. So there's 11 apps, right? What? It drives me crazy. I'm just like, and half the time you're not using them for a while, and then Apple take them off your phone, and just remove them. And then next time you actually do need to use it, you click on it, you got to re-download it. It's like
and then you log in again, and you're creating barriers. You're creating
all
barriers,
all barriers. Whereas this breaks a barrier. Like it's just completely something people already use.
We have customers in India, right? And what we found is that like the average size of a mobile wallet pass is 1/2000th of the size of an app. So if you think about like customers in remote places where internet's not something that they can access readily, it's huge. I mean, these things can be used offline.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point, actually. Yeah, it can be used offline as well. So once you've got it in there, it's all done.
Yeah, that's good. So Winnie, hope you learned some stuff about our platform today and it was valuable.
Yeah. So much to learn.
There's a lot to learn when I'm guessing you might be a bit new to high level, are you? Are you new to using the high level platform as well?
Yeah, still pretty new to the platform.
Okay.
So
Where are you? Where are you, Winnie?
very
Where are
new.
you in the world?
I'm in Vancouver in Canada.
Okay, cool. So a bit chilly over there at the moment. All right.
Right now we're just setting up everything, so still beginning.
Okay. Was there anything else that you had to share with us, Brian or Winnie? Did you have any questions now? You've been on here for a few minutes. I know you thought maybe you were joining for something else, but we just wanted to keep this on track for Brian with Litecard. I don't know if you have any questions for him while you're here. Otherwise, unless we have anything else, we might be wrapping up.
Yeah. So the CRM SIM is still pretty like with high level. It's not an issue still to connect with because we're having so many issues with the AP23 stuff.
No. So yeah, my CRM sim, we don't need A2P with that. So we're getting a lot of people now from Canada, US that are finding us and coming over because of the A2P issues. Now you've got to have 1-800 numbers are now requiring registration, which was a recent thing in the US as well. So you can't even get set up. So I don't know if you're aware of all these challenges that people have got in the US, Brian, with
No,
A2P.
I've definitely heard.
Yeah. So before, this is one of the things, so what we're talking about before, like with clients, they bring people on and then they want to get them going quickly. So they'll do a database reactivation campaign with A2P in the US. A lot of agencies over there, they would use a 1-800 number to kind of get started because you didn't need A2P for that. And now that's not even something that they can do anymore with a 1-800 number to get started. So they're all kind of coming to us now and just trying to help them out. So yeah, definitely some challenges for people in the US. So now we've got 2 perfect services. My CRM Sim, do your database reactivation with Litecard, good to go. And then you can do push notifications through Litecard later on. And you don't even have to send another text message. Amazing. You get straight to them.
I had to stay 24 months ahead, Gary.
Yeah, so we've got to take them. We can take those those leads down the consumer journey. All right, we get to them and then we just remind them. We go, here you go.
All right, Gary, mate, it was honestly a pleasure
Okay.
to come on and share a bit more. So I appreciate you having the time and taking me on.
Mate, it's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. I want to talk more, Brian, because I think that there's got to be some options for us to do something together in terms of training and putting this together as like an option for clients to ask. I know there's a lot of people doing database reactivations that, you know, I want to get this to them. We'll make sure that we update people and post this to them on the Facebook page and everything as well. But yeah, I think that people should definitely check this out seriously. There's an option for doing database reactivations. It's very, very cool.
That's good. Let's put together like a custom flow or something and then just show them how it would work. I think that'd be awesome.
Perfect. All right. Thanks very much, mate.
All right. No worries. Take care. See ya.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Winnie.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Winnie.